Now we're going to talk about something called the least common multiple. Why do we need to know this? Well, we're going to get to fractions, and this is actually going to become an essential skill for when we want to add or subtract. And we use fractions every day, so you will, if you don't already, see the importance as we get to it. Well, what does least common multiple mean? Now, commonly it's just LCM, that's what people say, but we want to get used to saying least common multiple. And what that means is it's the smallest number that is a multiple of two or more numbers. So let's look at what is the least common multiple of 6 and 8. Well, one way we can do that is to find the multiples. So here's multiples of 6, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, you could keep going. Multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and so on. Now, if we look at the smallest number that is common to both the multiples of 6 and 8, we can see that 24 is the smallest number that is a multiple of both numbers. So we say that our least common multiple of 6 and 8 is 24. How about 12 and 32? Multiples of 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, and so on. Multiples of 32, 32, 64, 96, and you could keep going. Well, the smallest number that is a multiple of both 12 and 32 is 96. So what is the problem with doing that this way? Well, how do you know when to stop? I mean, you could keep going on forever. It takes a lot of time. How do you know when to stop finding the multiples? Well, the solution, prime factorization, which we've done. So let's see how it changes what we find. So let's find the prime factors of 6. So let's just do a factor tree because that is the, well, it's kind of neat in the way it looks. Okay, so 6 is 2 and 3, and 8 is 2 times 4, and 4 we know is not a prime factor, so we go a little bit further on our tree, and it's 2 times 2. So our prime factors of 6 are 2 and 3. Our prime factors of 8 are 2 times 2, times 2. Another way that we can write this, now that we've looked at exponents, is 2 cubed, because there's 3 2's there. So the least common multiple of 6 and 8, and now here's the trick when you're doing this, is you take the number, each base, with the biggest exponent. So here we have a 2 with the power of 1. Here we have 2 with the power of 3. So we're going to go with 2 to the power of 3. Now the 6 has a 3 and the 8 doesn't, but we have to include the 3. So we're going to say 3 to the power of 1. Well, what does that give us? If you were to evaluate this, 2 to the power of 3, or 2 cubed, is 2 times 2 times 2. Well, we know what that is. It's just 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So the least common multiple of 6 and 8 is 24. 12 and 32. Now we found the multiples of that, and it was kind of a long process. So let's do our factor tree. 2 times 6. 6 is not prime, so we're going to go one step further. And we get 2 times 2 times 3. 32, 2 times 16. And again, 16 is not prime. So this is 2 times 8. 8 is not prime. So we're going to go 2 times 4. And 4 is not prime. So we go 2 times 2. So 32 is 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. 2 to the 5th power. And 12 is 2 squared times 3. So 2 squared times 3, and 2 to the 5th power is 32. So what is the least common multiple? Well, we have a base of 2 for each one, and we take the one with the biggest exponent. In this case, we have 2 and 5, so we're going to go with 5. Then we've got a 3 here. We don't have a 3 here, but we have to keep it. So we have 2 to the 5th power, which is 32, and 32 times 3 is going to be 96, which is what we found when we did our multiples. So the least common multiple of 12 and 32 is 96. So you and a friend are going to go to summer camp, and you find out that you are in a separate cabin from your friend. You get to go swimming every 3rd day, but she only gets to go swimming every 4th day. So when will you and your friend be swimming on the same day? That's an interesting question. Well, we can use multiples or we can use prime factorization. So prime factors of 3, well, that one's a pretty simple one because 3 is a prime factor. Prime factors of 4, we know that 4 is 2 times 2. So again, and this is 2 squared. Now, there's only one base of 2, but we have to keep it with its exponent. And there's only one 3, and we also have to keep that. So 2 squared times 3 is equal to 12. So you and your friend will be swimming on the same day on day 12. And that is your lesson on least common multiples.